No Man's Sky has been a huge part of my life for the last 4 years. It has been the focus of my channel for those 4 years and was even the first game I ever streamed on the 12th of August 2016. And so it makes me very happy to be able to say that this video is sponsored by Hello Games, and that there's a special link in the description with my name on it that takes you to the No Man's Sky website. You see, No Man's Sky is an anomaly, not just for its legendary comeback from what most would consider the end of their careers, but for the game itself. Even in the beginning, this game's scope is near impossible to comprehend. More than 18 quintillion potential planets. That is almost 2.5 times the grains of sand estimated to be present on Earth. It is 46 to 180 million times the amount of stars in the Milky Way. It's so many that the thought of trying to truly complete this game in any 100% way should never even be entertained. Something No Man's Sky has always had is not an end goal but a journey, and it seems not only is that the feel of No Man's Sky, but also the way Hello Games approach the development of No Man's Sky. You don't hear them talking about stopping at any point in the future. They have near endless plans they wish to implement, and they are just working through them. Their journey is making a great game that continues to surprise and inspire us. When the game launched in early August 2016, it was all about exploring that lonely endless universe. The game was beautiful. I still remember the first extreme frozen planet I found. I had to spend quite some time sorting out some cold protection. It was a real effort to survive the elements for this fresh character. After a few hours slowly taking in the sights, I came across these strange floating things. Were they creatures or some strange plant? I had no idea, so of course I shot them, and found out they dropped super rare resources. I didn't warp that many times, there was too much to see in just the first system or two, and after 30 or so hours, I was content. The game was beautiful, massive and mysterious, but I didn't want exploration all of the time, and back then, it was almost all the game provided. Shoot to a few months later and Hello Games have been secretly at work, away from the public eye, working on the start of their comeback. This came in the form of patch 1.1, the Foundation update, and until researching for this video I hadn't remembered just how much of No Man's Sky that we still hold dear was introduced in this update. Game modes for one, normal, survival and creative were introduced in this update. Base building was introduced with cuboid and circular rooms, NPC terminals, farming with the crops we still use today, autonomous mining units, even save points, comballs and the signal booster. We could finally leave a mark in the universe. Even then there were freighters, trading, improved generation, crafting and more. It was one huge step towards a legendary comeback. Just 3.5 months later they released the Pathfinder update, adding multiple ships, photo mode, base sharing, permadeath mode, exocrafts that double the building parts, the discovery menu, more epic music from 65 Days of Static, even starship types and classes were added in this update, traders in the space station, nanite clusters, multi-tool types, and classes, the weapons, the list goes on. It feels strange to think both how none of this was in the original version of the game, but also that this is only 2 updates out of 17 major updates that No Man's Sky has had. Just a few months later on the first anniversary, they drop what for me is the most important update to date, Atlas Rises. I just had to check this update out, they added so much cool stuff. A new beautiful exotic type ship, tech and cargo inventories, improved space combat, improved generation, new biomes, the ability to edit the terrain, an overhauled UI, the potential to be able to see each other in-game as a floating orb.
Don't mind me.
What are you doing on my base, by the way? Like, how did you even get here?
Just come back in 2 hours and nothing will be
Well,
done.
okay, that is definitely suspicious. Okay, nice. Oh, this is awesome.
That's perfectly centered.
Wow,
actually.
that is actually awesome. It's exactly... Look at this, my base is now complete.
A huge new storyline, and one of the biggest features in No Man's Sky, portals. Finally, these strange monoliths rarely found on planets had a purpose. They are portals. Every planet has one, and you can use them to travel across a galaxy. Of course the rules weren't what they are today. Your ship was not with you the other side. In order to travel any distance really, you had to build an exocraft pad. For me, this is where it really began. I was introduced to a thriving community full of day one players who never stopped loving it, returning players like myself and new players hearing of this epic space game that had redeemed itself. We would purposefully find world-based computers as close to the portals as possible, developing techniques to find the closest, building huge farms and aesthetic builds, then posting them online so others could visit and leave comballs thanking us for the fish. I found out about player SIPs like the Galactic Hub that had made their own way to play together in a game that initially didn't support it, gathering on Reddit and Amino. You look at this and at some of the responses to the initial launch, and you have to wonder how it exists. I have a theory for this, and it's that there were always people who were happy with the game, very loyal people, many of which still play today. After the fires burned out and the small, especially extreme negative group got bored and left, the loyal fanbase locked the doors. They ran the show now. Every update after, the loyal fanbase grew bigger, and the especially negative group could never really get a foothold in the community again. The No Man's Sky community has just continued to grow and get stronger. No community is perfect, it's not possible. But the No Man's Sky community is something special, and I think it is largely down to resilience. New people are always welcome and even cheered, but negativity is largely ignored without genuine will for constructive critique. It wasn't for a year after Atlas Rises that we received another update, but boy was it a big one. The next update, version 1.5, which introduced actual multiplayer with avatars you can see and customize. You can now own multiple bases and put them where you wanted. You could even now build with a friend. Building itself was overhauled, as were resources and crafting. Refiners became a thing, procedural technology, space stations were completely rebuilt to what we have today, minus a few stalls. Freighters gained frigates and became the leader of its own fleet. The update only started to speed up, with the next year bringing the Abyss update, which completely overhauled every body of water found in the universe, adding a reason to explore them and a huge new storyline. Then Visions, adding beautiful new biomes and so much more. At the 3rd anniversary, the Beyond update marked version 2.0, adding virtual reality, a brand new anomaly to support huge expanded multiplayer, a whole host of other big improvements, as well as bringing No Man's Sky to Xbox. A few months later, since this update with its insanely huge list of patch notes, the entire scope of the update being to specifically address the requests of the fanbase as far as tweaks and features go from the last few years. It was something nobody expected, as is usual with Hello Games, yet very much loved. Hello Games started cranking out the updates even faster with the Living Ship update, adding a new questline with some fantastic lore and a new ship type. Then the Exomech update, which I may not use very often but I think is cool regardless. The crossplay update adding full cross-platform play, something the community really wanted but never dared to dream. Then Desolation, adding the gloriously creepy derelict freighters as mini dungeons full of loot and terrors. 5 updates since the last anniversary and we get hit with the stunningly beautiful update in Origins, adding massively increased variety to the universe with incredible glowing fungus planets, multi-starred systems, completely reworked terrain generation to make huge mountains possible, but implemented in such a way that doesn't require a reset of the known universe. Instead, they just added these planets on top of what was already there. Oh, and sandworms. Yes, this is where they added sandworms, said by some as the final piece left from the original trailer. This update was just over a year ago. Since then we've had the Halloween update, Next Generations, Companions, Expeditions, the Prism update, and the latest update for the 5th year anniversary, Frontiers. There's just on its own added more than 300 new base parts as well as settlements, our own little towns that we can take ownership of and run either into the ground or to the heights of prosperity. It all leads to this: what 5 years of Engoodening looks like. Sincerely, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out that link in the description. Just looking over that huge list of updates and patches gives me nostalgia and makes me think about what they're going to do next.